But as it's getting closer to Christmas, I know in one of the in the past weeks, about 2 weeks ago now, maybe, when I put up the Christmas tree, um, I talked about one of my favorite Christmas memories. Um, but I do want to talk about another one that I have. It's actually from this house. Actually, no, it's a good few. Like, uh, the first Christmas here, I remember it was definitely 2004. Uh, because, and how I can always remember it is when a Pacific Power Ranger season was out. And at that point, it was Wild Force, and a bit before Ninja Storm and Dino Thunder. So I got a Power Rangers costume for Christmas, and I wish I still had the old family movie of this. Um, but I remember one of the main things that my mother would do, living in this house, is she could lock the sit room door on. So she would do that for Christmas, and so in order for me not to be able to open up presents, without her being there to see my genuine reaction. So she'd done that, and I remember her. She would come in, she filmed what I got that year, and the only thing that I remember getting that year is the Wild Force Power Ranger costume. It was like those old, like really kind of padded, um, costumes with the just the front face and mask with the eyes cut out as well as a bit on the mouth for breathing. Um, so I remember because it was actually right over here, right at the window, because that's where she had the couch at the time. So I remember she showed it all off, and then she stopped, and then continued the recording after I got changed into the Power Ranger costume. And then of course I remember, I was 5, I think, thinking, oh, I'm dressed up as a Power Ranger. I'm act like a Power Ranger. So I half jumped. So that's just like a vivid memory of me seeing that on the home videos at some point. So yeah, that was one of the Christmases here. Another Christmas was 2005. Um, I remember the couch being somewhere along, you know, this wall. Um, the TV being over by the bookcase type of thing. I remember being on a beanbag chair, and it was 2005, Christmas 2005, and I had gotten a dual disc from Yu-Gi-Oh. It was the Orichalcos dual disc, and I just remember sitting there messing around with it, with my deck at the time, and my mom had obviously fallen asleep. Excuse me. This was obviously after we had gone out to my nanny's for breakfast and dinner. And so we'd come back. She was tired, of course, being up at like 8, 9 o'clock. Um, so Doctor Who started. It was David Tennant's first episode. So that uh, that was my proper introduction to Doctor Who. Even though I'd seen like a bit of Father's Day and a bit of the last two episodes, um, of Doctor Who, and then it was really a Christmas Invasion is my memory of when I got into it. My mom says it was a bit before, uh, but I don't. My memory is of a Christmas Invasion. That's why I'll always say a Christmas Invasion is the first Doctor Who episode that I ever watched. Then of course I went back and watched season one whenever I could. Um, so yeah, those are just two of the Christmas memories. And then of course the following year, on in 2006, when I got massive into Doctor Who. My mom bought me a crap ton of Doctor Who stuff, like a shit ton, to the point where I remember it being like all from where the TV is. I'm not gonna bother flipping this around. Where my TV is, past the fireplace, and over to where I'm probably sitting right now, filled with nothing but Doctor Who. Uh, and even I had a TARDIS wardrobe. It was basically these metal bits that stacked up against each other, as well as a uh, the TARDIS thing itself was a like a fabric that was thrown over it. It had a zip to open in and out, and so that got put in my room, and I enjoyed it when I had it for a bit. Ended up for because it was just the one corner of the room. I would have all my toys were in it at one point, and what stopped me going in it and using it, because it wasn't really used as a wardrobe. I never really used it as a wardrobe. I used it as a toy, but what stopped me going in was I saw a spider in there, and if you don't know this about me yet, I am terrified of spiders. I hate it. That's why for this big Doctor Who review that I'm doing for the movie channel, one of the episodes that I'm now have to watch again is Arachnids in the UK, which I keep putting off because I'm just like, I don't like spiders. Even during the episode, I literally, whenever there was the big spiders on, I didn't look. But anyway, I digress. Back to the Christmas stories. So the last one that I'm going to talk about was the one that I was originally going to talk about first, and then I remembered those past three Christmases. This one sticks out to me quite a bit because it was the stupidest thing I ever done. So it was Christmas Eve. My mom was having a coffee and dipping biscuits in. It was ginger nuts, and I had asked, can I have a ginger nut dipped in her coffee? And she was hesitant at first, but then I had it. I had one or two, I think, and that was that. And so I went to bed, and this was back when I had a metal bunk bed, but it wasn't technically a bunk bed. It was one of those bunk beds where it had a top bunk and then a desk area underneath. Um, because I remember I got that off of my cousin. Uh, so yeah. So I'd gone to bed uh, at like 9 o'clock, I think. I can't really remember. But I then remember waking up in the middle of the night, hearing my mum dragging stuff out into the hall. I was like, oh, Santa's here. So I got down off of my bunk bed and I started to rush down the stairs because, I wanted to see Santa. And my mum, in panic mode, tries to get me to go up the stairs because, she's trying to sort out, have all the Christmas presents that she got me laid out everywhere and so on and so forth. So she did get me back up to bed. Here's the kicker: I didn't go back to sleep. I was wide awake. I was literally wide awake, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't play. I didn't have any handhelds. I couldn't turn on my TV. Um, because it would wake my mom. I didn't want to wake my mom up. So I was basically trying to kill time, laying, tossing, turning, thinking, silently playing. I think I did silently play um, for with my Power Rangers for a bit. And then I like 6 o'clock, I was like, okay, now it's safe for me to turn on my TV. So I turned on the TV. I was able to get the free stations off of the aerial, and uh, that was that. Then I waited for until like 8 o'clock. I went in to try and get my mom up. She said another hour, and that was that. So that was that one. That story that I just told was always been a key Christmas memory of me as a kid. The same with the one in our first place. And then I just, as I said, just as I started recording, I remembered about those other three Christmases. And Jesus Christ, this is a 10.5 minute video. So I might actually exclude this from the vlog, and I might just add that in. Might just upload this as a Christmas Day thing.